Hey, what's up, guys? It's Coach Rudy. I'm going to be walking you guys through an important topic this week in our nutrition forum. I got my hot cup of tea here. Okay, let's rock and roll. Let's go over something really important for you guys today. There's a lot that I'm going to be going over with you guys, so I'm really going to be condensing a lot of information for you. So take some good notes. If you need to, go back on the replay. Grab your pen and journal, and let's get started here. So this week, we're going to be talking about heart health. Okay, how many of you guys would agree with me that this is a pretty important topic? I would say so. So your heart, okay, is very important. It's your hardest working muscle in your body. Let me start the PowerPoint here. And, you guys know my transformation. Now, this is my recent transformation here. And we had a body transformation challenge in Toronto. And I was able to drop 6% body fat, lost 5 pounds of fat, gained 6 pounds of muscle. And so it's not a lot of what I'm sharing with you guys over the next few weeks. I'm going to be breaking down to bite-sized pieces of information that you can take away and implement into your daily routine that will help you with your personal transformation as we go get started here in 2017. So let's get into it today, because there's a lot that I'm going to go over with you guys. So I give you guys some tidbits of facts, some nuggets of information about your heart. It's about the size of 2 fists. Your heart beats 100,000 times in one day. It pumps out about 1 million barrels of blood over the course of a lifetime. That's a lot of blood. Every time your heart pumps is a contraction of a muscle. So it's very vital, very important. How much blood flows over the course of a lifetime is equivalent to turning on your kitchen faucet and leaving it running for 45 years. Okay, that's how much blood that's being pumped. Your heart also has its own electrical impulse, providing also oxygen in your body. Your heart pumps blood to over 75 trillion cells. We talked about how cellular nutrition is so important because we're fueling the trillions of cells in your body, 75 trillion to be exact. And so it pumps blood into all these cells, and also is your hardest working muscle over the course of a lifetime. And so with these facts, I'm sure you would agree that your heart is not only your hardest working muscle, but your most important muscle. And so this week's topic, I'm going to give you guys some tips, okay, on how to have a healthy heart. The first tip I'm going to give you guys to start off our conversation this week is to eat an abundance of fruits and veggies, okay? And what do I mean by that? So I'm not asking you to eat 6 apples on Monday, 7 oranges on Tuesday. I'm telling you, snack on fruits and veggies. I like to have veggies with every meal I have. And every snack I have a couple of, a quarter of a grapefruit with some peppers and some couple of strips of chicken breast with some beans or chickpeas and find a way to be snacking on fruits and veggies throughout the day, right? I also like to add fruits and veggies to my shake. For instance, my Formula 1 shake, I like to add kale. I like to add bok choy, which is a neutral flavor, but it's actually one of the super greens. I like to add, frozen berries. I love frozen blueberries in my shakes. And just, a third of a cup of it, not too much. It suffices. So again, here, tip, snack on fruits and vegetables, making sure that every time you eat, you're having a little bit of fruits and veggies. And we just talked about this. Whenever we're snacking, we're taking our fruit and veggies and combining it with a protein. Okay, you're always bundling protein with your fruits and veggies. And the tip here I'll give you guys is 50% of your protein intake, you want to make sure that's from plant-based protein sources. Okay, what do I mean by that? So let's just say your protein number that you marry needs to have 100 grams of protein every day. So 50 out of those 100 grams should come from plant-based sources, okay? Minimum. It doesn't matter who you are. This is true for the athletes I work with. This is true for young people I work with. This is true for old people I work with. This is true for nice people I work with. This is true for not so nice people I work with. at least 50% of your protein intake you want to have from plant-based sources because it's heart friendly, okay? And that number actually increases if you are overweight, okay? If you have any kind of cardiovascular disease, okay? If you have any kind of blood pressure, cholesterol, any kind of cardiovascular issues, that number actually goes up. So what used to be a 50% base would be now closer to 65-35, 75-25 plant-based sources. Do you guys get this? Just because you have cardiovascular disease doesn't mean that your body does not require protein anymore. You just need to make sure that 75% of that protein intake is coming from plant-based sources. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter how you look. If you have a dead heart, you ain't going nowhere, okay? So when we're talking about making sure that you get the clean protein, this is vitally important, okay? And the great news is that our Herbalife shakes, they're all plant-based sources. So they're all heart-friendly. That's what matters to us, okay? So another tip is make sure you're getting your good fats in, okay? We are deficient on omega-3s, okay? The FDA, Federal Drug Administration, and also the Health Canada here in Canada have described certain fats and oils as essential, and they coined these fats EFAs, essential fatty acids, okay? And there's 3 of them, 3, 6, and 9, okay? 6 and 9, you don't have to worry about, okay? Because 6 and 9, as you can see from this chart here, is in a lot of the oils that we cook with. And when I'm talking about canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, corn oil, soybean oil, peanut oil, all these oils that we cook with are rich in omega-6, okay? Which is good because omega-6 is one of the profiles in the EFAs, in the essential fatty acids. But what's not good is we need a certain ratio of omega-3 compared to omega-6, or omega-6 compared to omega-3. And that ratio needs to sit at about 3-1. So for every 3 omega-6s you have in your body, you need to make sure you have at least 1 omega-3, okay? We need to have a healthy balance ratio of that. Unfortunately, because of the lack of omega-3s in the foods that we eat, we're going to be talking about this in a second, we are rich and saturated with omega-6, as you can tell, because we eat so much of these oils every day. And either the foods that we prepare or the foods that we eat in some way or fashion incorporates these oils. So that ratio now for most of North America is sitting at about 20-1. Remember, 3-1 healthy, 20-1 not healthy, because what happens now is it creates a very toxic environment in your body. I'm slowing this down, so I'm making sure you'll be able to digest this and write this down. And what happens is this imbalance and toxic environment creates many oxidative stress, and it creates an inflammation in your body, okay? And so what we need to do is we need to, first of all, cut down our omega-6 intake, okay? However, we also want to bring the needle up and make sure that we're increasing our omega-3 intake so that those numbers now are closer to 3-1, okay? So going back to the beneficial of good fats, I don't have a doubt that you're getting enough omega-6 in your body. What I'm confident with, 110% confident, is that you're omega-3 deficient. Okay, and so you want to make sure that you're getting your omega-3s, and I'm going to be talking about that in a second, but I want to plant that seed first. Next tip is you want to make sure that you find and stay at a healthy weight. If you are overweight, okay, you are causing excess stress on your heart, okay? Your heart's got to work hard enough as it is, right? We just saw that. Your heart's got to pump 1 million barrels of blood throughout your body over the course of a lifetime. That's a pretty hard working muscle. Now, if you're overweight, now that workload may be double, maybe triple. So that's why when we're talking about cardiovascular health, when we're talking about metabolic age, you know, you might be born in 1990, right? And you know the age that it says in your driver's license, but your metabolic age may tell you that you're 61, right? I've worked with professional athletes and I've worked with collegiate athletes that look like in great shape, but because they have so much visceral fat internally inside them that you can't see in the mirror, their metabolic age. I scanned a football player that played for the University of Colorado Buffaloes, and he's 6'2", 225 pounds of lean muscle, and he was one of the top running backs going into the NFL draft, and his metabolic age was 68. Meanwhile, he's 19 years old. How do you figure that, right? So one thing you want to make sure of is that you need to make sure that you're at a healthy weight, but you're also bringing down your visceral fat levels inside your arteries. I'm going to be talking about that in a second. So tips on reducing fat, on fat reduction: cut out the fried foods. Okay, no more poutine, no more French fries, no more chips, no more fried chicken. Just cut that stuff out. Okay, it ain't doing nothing for you. Get rid of creamy items from your diet. That could be dressings, sauces, spreads, Alfredo sauce, with pasta. Limiting quantities of that. I was raised in Singapore. We have a melting pot of different cultures in there, and so I love to eat like Indian food growing up, right? And I know a lot of Indian cuisine, they eat like a lot of coconut milk in their foods. They cook a lot with coconut milk, and coconut milk is high in what? As you can see from this slide here, coconut milk is high in saturated fats. What are saturated fats? That's the fat that turns into visceral fat that clogs your arteries, that gives you a heart attack. And so what we want to do, what I've done is that, I'll add a little bit of coconut milk, maybe a third of what the recipe calls for, and I'll substitute the rest with like some frozen yogurt, right? And so make a healthier, lighter dish as opposed to a heavy, unhealthy dish, right? We just talked about this: clean ingredients, making sure you're swapping out fatty, bad ingredients from the recipe and making sure that you're adding lighter versions of that. Look at your cooking techniques, sauteing and a little bit of olive oil or grapeseed oil, cooking in wine, citrus juice makes the meal light as opposed to heavy. You guys know what I mean by having a heavy meal? When you have a heavy meal, you just want to take a nap after, right? You can have a light meal and feel like you still have a spring to your step, right, and a bounce to your step. So take a look at your cooking techniques. Make sure that you're incorporating lighter techniques as opposed to heavier techniques, and adding fat-free veggies. We just talked about that. I like to cook a lot of stews, and a lot of my stews, and I cook like chili and jambalaya, pots fulls of that, because I'll meal prep. Like I'll cook twice a week, right? And I'll cook a big pot and it'll last me for a few days. But that big pot, I'm not putting sausages in there. I'm not putting like bacon in there. I'm not putting pig feet in there. Guys, don't eat pig feet. That's disgusting. I'm putting like beans and veggies and lentils and chickpeas and legumes. That's what I'm putting in my stews, and this is heart friendly. Okay. Now, I'm going to be talking about something here that's going to raise some eyebrows, and I'm going to give you caution to that right now. So, like most of you, I was born in a different country. I'm a first generation immigrant, and Canada's my home now. Where I came from, we used to know our farmers, right? The farming process in North America, this is true when I was working with my clients in the US, and it's true here in Canada. It's become an industrial system, okay? These farms don't feed villages. These farms feed corporations. And this is true with the aquaculture in terms of our fishes, our seafood. This is true with our agriculture. This is true with our cattle. This is true with our poultry. This is true with the foods that we eat. The farmers that we know that feed us don't feed us. They feed an intermediary, Okay, so this industrial farming has become a big time manufacturing process. And so, we're talking about fishy. Um, 92% of our seafood is farm raised. Okay, write that number down. 92% in North America. You guys know there's no fishes left in the ocean. You know that, right? Um, and so 92% of the fishes that we eat as a population are not raised in the ocean, they're raised in farms. Okay. And this is the effects of this seafood that we're eating, and the potential diseases and setbacks that we get. It's no eating a fillet of tilapia may not be any better than eating a piece of bacon. Okay. And I'm going to be going over a little bit with you guys here right now, so that you guys are an educated consumer in terms of what you're putting on your plate. Farm-raised foods, seafoods, farm-raised salmon have at least 10 times the amount of carcinogens in it compared to the wild varieties. Okay. These fishes are not fat. These fishes in the wild, they feed on algae, okay, in the ocean. Now in the farms, they're being fed corn pellets on a good day. On a bad day, they're being fed chicken feces, pig and duck waste. Okay. These are the main ingredients of some of the feed that goes into these fish farms. Okay. Let that sink in for a second. You don't really need me to explain that to you aside from what I just shared with you. Okay. So because of that, and also with the condensed living populations, so you have like a little fish farm with a little, a few ponds in it, and you have a few thousand fishes in each one of these ponds. Okay, they don't have the vastness of the ocean anymore. They're all condensed into these small little cages. Okay, and they have to pump these cages full of pesticides and antibiotics to combat sea lice. They're feeding them doo-doo for that, for crying out loud. And so a lot of these fishes need to be pumped full of these pesticides so that they're able to survive. Okay. They also have a lower level healthy nutrients. The salmon that you eat that's caught in the wild in Alaska has omega-3 in it because it's feeding from the algae and living in its natural environment in the ocean, right? Not true now when we're talking about the ones that are being fed fecal matter in the farms. Okay. In fact, a lot of these fishes, when you eat them, they're not even good for you. Okay. And the reason for that is because a lot of these chemical byproducts in them that has been linked to asthma, obesity, allergies, and other metabolic disorders. And so, one thing I didn't even add in here is that a lot of these fishes, they don't even have a male or female gender. They've also been pumped with a chemical in the water that eliminates their reproductive organs so that they don't have to expend energy towards those reproductive organs. So now they can feed them lesser food. They can grow bigger, faster. The same thing they do with your chicken. And so when we're taking into account all these things, you got to be, my advice is when you're shopping for seafood, look for the wild raised Alaska salmon. It's going to cost you more, but it's much, much better than the alternative of what you're putting into your body, as you can see here. And then it creates a need for supplementation. Okay, and this is where Herbalife comes in. Like I said, we're always a food first company, right? Having said that, because we live in North America and the aquaculture, and all the other culture processes here in North America as a continent, doesn't matter what country you're in, it's a manufacturing process, okay? And there's very little nutrition in the food that we eat today. I meet so many people that I work with personally that are first generation, second generation immigrants, and they say to me the same thing: Rudy, I don't understand this. I feed my family the same way we ate back home. I try to feed my family healthy. I try to take care of my family and make sure they eat good food, I don't understand why we're gaining weight. I don't understand why my energy is getting lower. I don't understand why I feel tired all the time. I don't understand why I'm getting sick all the time. This is the reason why. We're just talking about the aquaculture here. Okay, we can still make the same case and the same conversation about all the other food-like substances that you put into your body. We had a clinical study with Dr. Luigi at UCLA that I was talking with him about at UCLA Medical, where they took oranges out of grocery stores in Southern California. These are Southern Californian grown oranges sold in Southern California grocery stores, and tested it for vitamin C bioavailable. Every one of these samples came back with 0 vitamin C bioavailable. You're eating an orange, it looks like an orange, it feels like an orange, it tastes like an orange. Nutrition value, not the same. And so we're not trying to get people to stop eating oranges. I want you to still continue to eat your oranges. I still want you to have at least 3 to 5 servings of fish, seafood a week. But you need to know that as an educated consumer for you and your family, that you're not getting the nutrition that you used to get, that we used to be able to get out of our food supplies. And so that's where Herbalife comes in. We actually put nutrition back into the equation, into the conversation. So let's talk about heart health and what our solutions for you for heart health here. So if we're not getting, we just established that we're deficient in omega-3. We need omega-3. It's our food. It's food for your brain. It helps lubricate your joints and ligaments. It helps eliminate the visceral fat in your body, but we're not eating enough of that. So a lot of people resort to eating salmon as a source of omega-3. We've just talked about or addressed that. You're not getting the omega-3s out of your salmon. So what do you need to do? You need to supplement that. And that's the reason why I'm going to go through some of the heart health solutions here we have at Herbalife. This gentleman here, his name is Louis Ignarro. He won the Nobel Prize laureate in 1998 in medicine. Okay, he always kids about this. This is when he was accepting the Nobel Prize, in 1998, and he's actually standing over the symbol for nitric oxide, which is what he founded, which is NO, right? And so he's the only Nobel Prize laureate that's with any nutrition company in the world. And he chose Herbalife because he knew that his Nobel Prize winning research and the work that he did would have the greatest impact on the human population with the company Herbalife. And so he's actually tasked with the responsibility of overseeing our entire heart health line. So this is the guru when we're talking about cardiovascular health. Okay, I hate to break it to you, ladies. It's not Dr. Oz. It's Dr. Louis Ignarro. And every single one of our heart health products is signed off by him. Okay, and you want that. Okay, and then I'm going to explain the reason why. So the first product that we're going to talk about is Herbalife line. This is basically your concentrated omega-3s, okay, that we just talked about. Everybody should be supplementing on omega-3. Everybody. I don't care if you're young, old, male, female, nice, not nice. It's up to Santa. Everybody needs to be supplementing on omega-3. We're all deficient on that. Dr. Luigi actually has 21 capsules of this a day. He takes 7 capsules of this 3 times a day. Personally, I take 6 a day, okay? Omega-3, it's food for your brain. We just talked about it. Kids today, they have high prevalences, rates of ADHD, attention deficit disorder, because they have too much sugar and not enough omega-3 in their system. They're eating cereals, Pop-Tarts and just other microwavable crap into their bodies, but they're not putting nutrition into their body. This is the Herbalife line. And so someone says to me, "Oh, I get omega-3s, or I buy fish oils from Costco." Okay, let me show you a quick video with my buddy Rod here in Miami, and Rod's got a visual experiment here to show you with the oil, omega-3 oils, fish oils that he got from Costco compared to the ones we have. So take a look.
styrofoam causes that are empty. Okay, styrofoam is actually big fat. That's what keeps it insulated and keeps it hot.
Oops, let me see what happened here. Why is it not showing?
Some hot water. What this hot water is going to represent is either your stomach or your blood flow. Obviously, your water or your blood's not going to be 225 degrees.
Okay, I'm not sure why the video is not playing. Let me just refresh that. So basically, just to recap what he just talked about there, styrofoam is basically made from pig fat. That's what gives it its insulating factor variable. And that's what's this visceral fat that's in your arteries.
Today I'm actually going to show you guys quality control over Herbalife line fish oils versus just your over-the-counter fish oils that you can pick up at any vitamin shop, any store, or anything like that. Mainly what I have here is...
Okay, I guess the video is not playing, but what I'll do is I'll attach it to the post for you guys, and then you guys can take a look at that, okay? So omega-3, make sure that you're getting your omega-3s into your system there. Next thing that we have here also is the Tri-Shield. So this is a different source of omega-3. This is not. This is coming from krill oil, and so I always like to get my omega-3s from different sources, from plant-based sources such as flaxseed, from the sea, such as krill, and the omega and the Herbalife line. So this is another form of omega-3 that you can put into your body. Again, as you can see here, signed off, signature, Lou Ignaro. Another product that we have here is to promote healthy circulation is Mega Garlic. It helps provide antioxidant support. It also is improves the triglyceride and cholesterol levels in your body, keeping it within normal range. Each one of these tablets, of Mega Garlic is equivalent to 7 cloves of garlic. So don't come around me. I don't want you killing vampires with your breath. I would encourage you guys, for anyone with any kind of a circulatory, blood pressure, cholesterol issue, to definitely get on the Mega Garlic. You're going to thank yourself for that. Okay. What we have here is also the core complex. This is the holy grail when we talk about everything that we have in the heart health spectrum. And so this has your plant sterols, which we talked about, which really helps provide a healthy environment for your heart. And it also has the Herbalife line, has the Tri-Shield that we talked about, and it also has the CoQ10 Plus, which helps with the energy to your heart cells and protects the cells from oxidative stress in your heart. So this basically has little packets that you're taking once a day. So there's 30 packets in there, and it has all the heart health products in there, which is really, really awesome. Anybody with any kind of cardiovascular health, okay, don't wait for the first heart attack to wake you up. Anyone with any kind of a blood pressure, cholesterol, or weak heart, get them on the core complex. Again, as you can see here, it's signed off by Lou Ignaro, okay? This is the best products you can put in your body when we're talking about your heart, okay? Okay, and then lastly, let's talk about Nightworks. This is the product that he won the Nobel Prize for, okay? Nightworks, basically, it's an amino acid L-arginine and L-citrulline, which helps support and increase the production of nitric oxide in your body for natural and healthy blood flow and the functioning of your heart, your brain, and your other organs. So I don't know about you, as we, a lot of when you get injured, okay, a lot of the issues of recovery and rehabilitation is hindered by poor circulation, okay? This is true regardless if you're an athlete or a grandma who is suffering from osteoporosis, okay? One of the issues that we have is poor circulation in your body. As part of the aging process, our blood vessels thins out and becomes more rigid. So it's not able to pump blood as freely, okay? So nitric oxide in our blood, in our bodies actually helps, gives the flexibility in our blood vessels and makes it more pliable again. So it allows more free flow of blood. Now this nitric oxide production levels decreases as we age, as part of the aging process, but most importantly, it decreases and it's at its slowest level when we're sleeping, when we're in deep sleep. That is why most heart attacks happen at 4 o'clock in the morning. They simply just don't wake up. It's because the nitric oxide levels in your body dips to its lowest level as you're sleeping. And so you take the Nightworks before you go to bed, and number one, it promotes for healthier, sounder, deeper sleep. Number two, it increases the nitric oxide production levels as you sleep, so that you're now able to get rested, A, B, recovered. The whole point of sleeping is to recover. And the reason why you recover is not because you're having better blood circulation as you're sleeping. Now this, as you can tell, is a big deal. It's a huge deal. That's why his discovery of this, Lou Ignaro's it's been coined the penicillin of the 21st century. It saves lives. And I've been on this Nightworks, okay? Amazing product. I don't have the time on this webinar to tell you about the countless stories of lives that were saved personally that I knew just with this product. People in the US, people in China, people in Asia, in Vietnam, and all over the place that started taking Nightworks, okay? In ICU, they were feeding a couple of my clients Nightworks through IV, in intensive care units, in hospitals where doctors are just arm up in the air. I don't know what else we can do for them, okay? We tried everything and that medicine knows of, or that we know of, nothing has worked. And they started getting Nightworks into their body. And I'm telling you, I mean, it makes the hair on the back of my neck stand right now just thinking about these people. So I don't have time to talk about all these faces that I have going through my head right now, but suffice to say, this is a worthwhile product. I mean, he won a Nobel Prize for this, guys. It's a big deal, okay? So that's our our topic, our conversation about heart health. I hope that it has served you well. And if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below in the comment section. But I'm going to, I would encourage you to subscribe to our page. And I'm going to put a link here on the top left here that you can subscribe. And I'll post the links also to the other nutrition videos that you can pick up on. We've had some doozies. We're talking about protein. We're talking about metabolic health. We're talking about shrinking your belly fat and size. And so I hope that I'm able to give you guys a lot of value again today. This is a big, important topic when we're talking about your heart health. And if you have any comments, like I said, reach out. And I hope you guys took a lot of value out of this. Okay? Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.